Good morning, or good afternoon, or possibly good evening, depending upon what part of the world you're joining us from today. Coach Kevin Sparks here, and let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'd like to do is go ahead and share my screen with you and share with you some things that can be helpful. Function and type in live law of attraction, money, wealth, and success training, and you can find us here. Another way to find us is you can go directly to facebook.com/groups, as in plural, /money manifesting coach. Facebook.com/groups, as plural, /money manifesting coach. That's as one word. And by joining us, you can do a couple different things. Most importantly, probably though, is you can review the recordings of our Zoom meetings. So we typically try to get them posted within 24 to 48 hours of when we have a training. And as you can see right here, there's yesterday, and there's Friday, and there's Thursday. And if I scroll on, you'll see a little bit over a month's worth of trainings. So don't need to go through all those. Just want to show you how you can go back and review the meetings. So let's say today you're here with us for the first time and you're enjoying it, and there's something that was said and you want to go back and review it. Well, you can. Well, let's also say that you're with us Monday, Tuesday. For some reason, tomorrow you can't make it. You're back with us Thursday and Friday maybe, and you want to go see what you missed. Well, that's another way you can go ahead and do it. Okay. Next thing I want to point out is what we are in the process of going through right now. See, what we do is we go through some training each day, and we also interact with each other. We're going to have the opportunity to spend 10, 15 minutes towards the end with you sharing what you'd like to share and asking whatever questions you like to ask. However, before we do that, we typically go through some form of training. Sometimes we take something and we go through it for a day. Sometimes we pick something, takes a couple days. Sometimes we choose a book, and going through the book that we choose might take several days or maybe even a week or more. At this very moment, we are going through a book. We are going through a book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It was written by Joseph Murphy. Again, it's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It was written by Joseph Murphy. I want to go ahead and share with you how to get yourself a free copy. I have it on Kindle. I have it on Audible. I've had paperback versions. Actually, we do have one in the house of this particular book. I've been through it several times over the years and found it to be highly helpful when training people in the law of attraction and how the mind works. Joseph Murphy is one of the foremost authorities on that. He's no longer with us, but his works will live on. And I want to show you where you can get a free copy. What I did is I just went to Google and typed in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind PDF. Then I scrolled through a little bit and checked different ones out. I found one that I like. So this is the one that we're using, which will coincide. It'll be this one right here. But what you do to get a copy is I found this one when I scrolled down, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind dash the Logo Center. Don't really care about that part of it. And it says www.logocenter.org. Don't be too concerned about it. Here's what happens when you click on here. When you click here, it brings you right to the book. And then if you choose to, you can download it and save it. Didn't even ask for an email address, name, or anything like that. Okay. So you can download, save a copy to your device so that you can go through it when you are not on the internet if you choose to. Okay. We are
Kevin?
on. Yes.
Oh, I have a quick question. So sometimes I don't have necessarily the time to read, but I like to listen to different things while I'm doing stuff. What do you suggest the best way to do that?
If you type in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind,
Facebook videos of you reading it so that I can hear you.
Yeah, well, that's what each of these, you'll have the recordings every day if you join the Facebook group.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okie dokie. So back to where we're on page 33. And why are we doing this? Well, we started out going through, we've been going together a little longer than a month. We started out going through the formula for manifesting more money and wealth into your life and took a period of time to do that. Then we went through material specifically on how the laws of the universe function and what you need to know to obey them correctly so you manifest the money and wealth that you want into your life. And now what we're going through is the next step, which is if you understand how to do something, the formula, and you understand how the laws of the universe work and you're still stuck, okay, you're not getting what you want, it's because you have programming that is at a subconscious level that is in opposition to you receiving what you want in your life. So we're going through this so you understand how the subconscious mind works, how it got programmed in the first place to what it currently is, and how to change that programming so that you can then have it get out of your way and actually become your best friend. You see, your subconscious mind will either be your best friend or your worst enemy when it comes to you setting goals and having intentions to have things happen in your life. It will either help you or it will hinder you. No matter how smart you are, no matter how much you understand the formulas, no matter what you understand about the laws, again, if your subconscious mind has been programmed in opposition to those things, before you're going to receive what you want, you're going to have to make a change at a subconscious level. So that's what we're working on right now, is sharing with you how to do that. So I'm going to jump in right here where we left off yesterday. I will be reading. It is being recorded, and I'll add commentary where I feel it will be helpful and appropriate. And then when the time is right, we will come out of screen share and we will have an opportunity to share what we'd like to share and ask whatever questions you'd like to ask. Let me get a nice sip of water here and we'll get rolling. What is impressed in the subconscious is expressed. William James, the father of American psychology, said that the power to move the world is in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is one with infinite intelligence and boundless wisdom. It is fed by hidden springs and is called the law of life. Whatever you impress on your subconscious mind, the latter will move heaven and earth to bring it to pass. You must therefore impress it with right ideas and constructive thoughts. The reason there's so much chaos and misery in the world is that so many people do not understand the interaction of their conscious and subconscious minds. When these two principles are in accord, it said it twice, are in accord, in concord. I don't think that's what they meant. Typos there. Okay, when these two principles are in accord, in peace and synchronicity together, you will have health, happiness, peace, and joy. There is no sickness or discord when the conscious and subconscious work together harmoniously and peacefully. In the ancient world, Hermes Trismegistus, anyhow, apologize if I'm pronouncing things incorrectly, but the Hermes guy had the reputation of being the greatest, most powerful magus the world has ever known. When his tomb was opened centuries after his passing, those who were in touch with the wisdom of the ancients waited with great expectancy and a sense of wonder. It was said that the greatest secret of the ages would be found within the tomb. And so it was. The secret was, as within, so without. As above, so below. In other words, whatever you impress in your subconscious mind, that becomes expressed on the screen of space. This same truth was proclaimed by Moses, Isaiah, Jesus, Buddha, Zoroaster, Lao Tse, and all the illuminated seers of the ages. Whatever you feel as true subjectively at a subconscious level is expressed as conditions, experiences, and events. Motion and emotion must balance. As in heaven, your own mind, so on earth in your body and environment. This is the great law of life. You will find throughout all nature the law of action and reaction, of rest and motion. These two must balance. Then there will be harmony and equilibrium. You are here to let the life principle flow through you rhythmically and harmoniously. The intake and the outgo must be equal. The impression and the expression must be equal. All your frustration is due to unfulfilled desire. If you think negatively, destructively, and viciously, these thoughts generate destructive emotions that must be expressed and must find an outlet. These emotions, being of a negative nature, are frequently expressed as ulcers, heart trouble, tension, and anxieties. What is your idea or feeling about yourself now? Every part of your being expresses that idea. Your vitality, body, financial condition, friends. Sorry, everybody. That is hilarious. Friends, those would be our friends. And social status represent a perfect reflection of the idea you have of yourself. This is the real meaning of what is impressed in your subconscious mind, what is expressed in all phases of your life. We injure ourselves by negative ideas we entertain. How often have you wounded yourself by getting angry, fearful, jealous, or vengeful? These are the poisons that enter your subconscious mind. You were not born with these negative attitudes. Feed your subconscious mind life-giving thoughts, and you will wipe out all the negative patterns lodged within it. As you continue to do this, all the past will be wiped out and remembered no more. The subconscious mind heals a malignancy of the skin. The most convincing evidence anyone can have of the healing power of the subconscious mind is a personal healing. Over 40 years ago, I developed a malignancy of the skin. I went to the finest doctors who tried the most advanced treatments medical science could offer. None of these helped. The malignancy got progressively worse. Then, one day, a clergyman with a deep store of psychological knowledge told me the inner meaning of the 139th Psalm. He called my attention to the passage that reads, "In thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them." He explained that the term book meant my subconscious mind, which fashioned and molded all my organs from a teeny original cell. He pointed out that since my subconscious mind had made my body, it could also recreate it and heal it according to the perfect pattern within it. This clergyman pointed to his watch. This had a maker, he told me, but before the watch could become an objective reality, the watchmaker had to have the idea of it clearly in mind. If, for some reason, the watch stopped working as it should, the watchmaker's idea of it would give him the knowledge he needed to fix it. I understood what he was trying to tell me by this analogy. The subconscious intelligence that created my body was like the watchmaker. It knew exactly how to heal, restore, and direct all the vital functions and processes of my body. But for it to do this properly, I had to give it the perfect idea of health. This would act as cause, and the effect would be healing. I formulated a very simple and direct prayer. My body and all its organs were created by the infinite intelligence in my subconscious mind. It knows how to heal me. Its wisdom fashioned all my organs, tissues, muscles, and bones. This infinite healing presence within me is now transforming every cell of my being, making me whole and perfect. I give thanks for the healing I know is taking place at this time. Wonderful are the works of the creative intelligence within me. I repeated this simple prayer aloud for about 5 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. It's called spaced repetition, is what he was doing. After 3 months, my skin was whole and perfect. The malignancy had vanished. My doctor was baffled by or baffled, but I knew what had happened. I had given life-giving patterns of wholeness, beauty, and perfection to my subconscious mind. These forced out the negative images and patterns of thought lodged in my subconscious mind, which were the cause of all my trouble. Nothing appears on your body except when the mental equivalent is first in your mind. Let me repeat that. Nothing appears on your body except when the mental equivalent is first in your mind. As you change your mind by drenching it with incessant affirmatives, you change your body. Let me also repeat that. As you change your mind by drenching it with incessant affirmatives, you change your body. This is the basis of all healing. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul, subconscious mind, knoweth right well. How the subconscious controls all functions of the body. Whether you are awake or asleep, the ceaseless, tireless action of your subconscious mind controls all the vital functions of your body without any need for your conscious mind to intervene. While you are asleep, your heart continues to beat rhythmically. Your chest and diaphragm muscles pump air in and out of your lungs. There the carbon dioxide that is the byproduct of the activity of your body's cells is exchanged for the fresh oxygen you need to go on functioning. Your subconscious controls your digestive processes and glandular secretions, as well as all the other wondrously complex operations of your body. All this happens when you are awake or asleep. If you're forced to operate your body's functions with your conscious mind, you would certainly fail. You would probably die a very quick death. The processes are too complicated, too intertwined. The heart-lung machine that is used during open heart surgery is one of the wonders of modern medical technology. But what it does is infinitely simpler than your subconscious mind does for 24 hours a day, year in, year out. Suppose you're crossing the ocean in a supersonic jetliner and you wandered into the cockpit. You certainly would not know how to fly the plane, but you would not find it difficult to distract the pilot and cause a problem. In the same way, your conscious mind cannot operate your body, but it can get in the way of proper operation. Worry, anxiety, fear, and depression interfere with the normal functioning of the heart, lungs, stomach, and intestines. The medical community is just beginning to appreciate how serious so-called stress-related diseases are. The reason is that these patterns of thought interfere with the harmonious functioning of your subconscious mind. When you feel physically and mentally disturbed, the best thing you can do is to let go, relax, and still the wheels of your thought processes. Speak to your subconscious mind. Tell it to take over in peace, harmony, and divine order. You'll find that all the functions of your body will become normal again. Be sure to speak to your subconscious mind with authority and conviction. It will respond by carrying out your command. How to get the subconscious to work for you. First thing to realize is that your subconscious mind is always working. It is active night and day, whether you act upon it or not. Your subconscious is the builder of your body, but you cannot consciously perceive or hear the inner silent process. Your business is with your conscious mind and not your subconscious mind. Just keep your conscious mind busy with the expectation of the best. And thinking. Remember, just as water takes the shape of the pipe it flows through, the life principle in you flows through you according to the nature of your thoughts. Claim that the healing presence in your subconscious is flowing through you as harmony, health, peace, joy, and abundance. Think of it as a living intelligence, a lovely companion on the way. Firmly believe it is continually flowing through you, vivifying, inspiring, and prospering you. It will respond exactly this way. It is done unto you as you believed. The healing principle of the subconscious restores optic nerves. One of the most celebrated healing shrines in the world is at Lourdes in southwestern France. The archives of the medical department of Lourdes are filled with dossiers that detail well-authenticated cases of what are termed miraculous healings. One example among many is the case of Madame Bayer, who was blind with optic nerves that were atrophied and useless. After she visited Lourdes, she regained her sight. Several doctors who examined her testified that her optic nerves were still useless, and yet she saw. A month later, a re-examination found that her visual mechanism had been fully restored to normal. I'm thoroughly convinced that Madame Bayer was not healed by the waters of the shrine. What healed her was her own subconscious mind, which responded to her belief. The healing principle within her subconscious mind responded to the nature of her thought. Belief is a thought in the subconscious mind. It means to accept something as true. The thought accepted executes itself automatically. Undoubtedly, Madame Bayer went to the shrine with expectancy and great faith. She knew in her heart she would receive a healing. Her subconscious mind responded accordingly, releasing the ever-present healing forces. The subconscious mind that created the eye can certainly bring a dead nerve back to life. What the creative principle created, it can recreate. According to your belief, it is done unto you. How to convey the idea of perfect health to your subconscious mind. And by the way, I know we're talking a lot here in these particular chapters right now. Joseph Murphy's talking about health and healing, okay? Obviously, our particular group we focus on, which is on money and wealth, okay? Don't let that hang you up. Don't be like, hey, he's not talking about money. He's going to talk more about money in the future as we go through this. But most importantly, he's talking about how the subconscious mind works. In the same way that a subconscious mind can help heal yourself, your subconscious mind will also help bring to you what you want in your life. So I'm just sharing that with you in case you're like, hey, how come we're not talking about money and wealth? We're talking about reprogramming our subconscious so that it will bring us the money and wealth we want, as well as any other thing that we want. A Methodist minister I met in Johannesburg, South Africa, told me how he overcame an advanced case of lung cancer. The method he used was to convey the idea of perfect health to his subconscious mind. At my request, he sent me a detailed description of the process, which I now pass along to you. Several times a day, and here we go, spaced repetition. Several times a day, I would make certain that I was completely relaxed mentally and physically. I relaxed my body by speaking to it as follows. My feet are relaxed. My ankles are relaxed. My legs are relaxed. My abdominal muscles are relaxed. My heart and lungs are relaxed. My head is relaxed. My whole being is completely relaxed. So after about 5 minutes, so we kept going, 5 minutes of doing that, okay? After about 5 minutes, I would find myself drifting into a sleepy, drowsy state. Then I affirmed the following truth. So this is while dozing off, but before falling asleep. The perfection of God is now expressed through me. The idea of perfect health is now filling my subconscious mind. The image God has of me is a perfect image, and my subconscious mind recreates my body in perfect accordance with the perfect image held in the mind of God. This minister had a remarkable healing. The technique he used is a simple, straightforward way of conveying the idea of perfect health to your subconscious mind. Another wonderful way to convey the idea of health to your subconscious is through disciplined or scientific imagination. I told a man who was suffering from functional paralysis to make a vivid picture of himself walking around his office, touching the desk, answering the telephone, and doing all the things he ordinarily would do if he were healed. I explained to him that this mental visualization of perfect health would be accepted by his subconscious mind. He threw himself into the role. He actually felt himself back in the office. He knew that he was giving his subconscious mind something concrete and definite to work upon. His subconscious mind was the film upon which the visualization was impressed. He continued this visualization discipline intensively for several weeks. Then, one day, the telephone rang at a time when everyone else was out. The telephone was 12 feet from his bed. Nevertheless, he managed to answer it. His paralysis vanished from that hour on. The healing power of the subconscious mind had responded to his mental imagery, and a healing followed. This man had suffered from a mental block that prevented nerve impulses generated in the brain from reaching his legs. Therefore, he could not walk. When he shifted his attention to the healing power within him, the power flowed through his focused attention, and he could walk again. Whatever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. Ideas worth remembering. Your subconscious mind controls all the vital processes of your body and knows the answer to all problems. Prior to sleep, turn over a specific request to your subconscious mind and prove its miracle working power to yourself. Whatever you impress on your subconscious mind is expressed on the screen of space as conditions, experiences, and events. Therefore, you should carefully watch all ideas and thoughts entertained in your conscious mind. The law of action and reaction is universal. Your thought is action, and the reaction is the automatic response of your subconscious mind to your thought. Watch your thoughts. All frustration is due to unfulfilled desires. If you dwell on obstacles, delays, and difficulties, your subconscious mind responds accordingly, and you're blocking your own good. The life principle will flow through you rhythmically and harmoniously if you consciously affirm, I believe that the subconscious power that gave me this desire is now fulfilling it through me. This dissolves all conflicts. You can interfere with the normal rhythm of your heart, lungs, and other organs by worry, anxiety, and fear. Feed your subconscious with thoughts of harmony, health, and peace, and all the functions of your body will become normal again. Keep your conscious mind busy with the expectation of the best, and your subconscious will faithfully reproduce your habitual thinking. Imagine the happy ending of a solution to your problem. Feel the thrill of accomplishment, and what you imagine and feel will be accepted by your conscious mind, which will bring it to pass. Okay, that's a good place to pause. We will come back here tomorrow. And hey, looks like a few more people joined us since we originally got started. Welcome, welcome. Everybody looks familiar. So let's go ahead. So at this point, you can share what you would like to share or ask whatever questions you would like to ask. We are smaller in numbers today, and so you have definitely the opportunity to take some time to do this. So if you have any questions or anything you would like to share, let's go ahead and do that now. Just come off of mute, start sharing what you would like to share, or ask whatever questions you would like to ask. Thank you.
Hi, Kevin. I just want to point out in the reading, I really liked that it said, I believe that the subconscious power that gave me this desire is now fulfilling it through me. So that just kind of like lifts weight off your shoulders whenever you like want to do something and something comes to your mind and an idea or whatever it may be. So yeah, I really like that.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? And by the way, great comment, because a lot of people will ask, how do I know if what I'm asking for is good or not, or if it's inspired, right? Look, the desires that we have to be, do, and or have different things happen to us in our lives, that is totally normal. Okay. Matter of fact, that is actually proof that we have the ability to be, do, or have those things. The desire is proof, it's evidence that we have the ability to be, do, or have whatever it is we want to be, do, or have. If we had no desire, or if we didn't have the desire, okay, let me put it this way. If we didn't have the ability, that's what I'm meaning to say, to be, do, or have those things, we would never actually have the desire to do those things. Now, that doesn't mean everything that ever crosses our mind that sounds like, oh, that sounds cool. Well, yes, we can do it if it comes across our mind. Now, we actually have to stay focused on what it is so that we can develop at a subconscious level the belief that we can be, do, or have it. But when the desire first pops up for us, we may not have a clue how to actually do what we want to be, do, or have. That's okay. The desire in and of itself, though, is proof that you can. Now what you have to do is you actually have to go live in your mind and create at a subconscious level a vision of yourself currently being, doing, and or having what it is you want to be, do, or have. And when your subconscious mind accepts that as normal for you to be, do, or have those things, then the subconscious mind's connection with God and the universe will go out and make sure that that's exactly what you end up being, doing, or having. So the simple fact, again, that you have a desire, that is actually something that is coming from God and the universe telling you that you have the capability. You may or may not have to develop some things to fully receive it, but the desire to do something is evidence that the ability to do it exists.
Yes, definitely. And that all supports the 300 list, all those desires that we have on there, that's all possible.
Yeah, we wouldn't be writing them down if it couldn't happen. Doesn't mean they all will, not because of anything wrong with the list or whatever, but we may not put enough attention. Like when I was younger, just like most anybody, right? You want to be a rock star or whatever. Some of you guys on here might actually be rock stars. Okay. There's the different things that we play around with in our mind. Well, guess what? We actually could have been that or could be that if we developed it. But there are going to be things that we have a strong desire for, and the stronger the desire, the more proof it is to you that you actually have the ability to be it, and probably you ought to pursue it. Okay. Again, that doesn't mean you necessarily know how to do it yet and that you have all the resources or knowledge put together, but that's not your job. Your job is to go live it in your mind and in your heart now as if it's already happened, and then let your subconscious take hold of that thought and help you receive it. It'll connect with God in the universe, and you'll receive the answers and guidance and direction that you actually need so that you can be, do, or have whatever it is that you want. Is there anybody here? We got a few minutes, and I'm here to be helpful. Is there anybody here that has something? Oh, Dre, go ahead.
Hi, Kevin. How are you today?
Terrific.
Good. So, I have a question. I shared a little bit about what I'm trying to manifest. And some people say, well, if it's meant to happen for you, it will happen. And I have a hard time correlating that with like manifesting, because to me, they're two opposite ideas of like, oh, it's going to happen to you, or I'm actively making it happen.
Okay. So are you wanting to know if they're correct or incorrect, or what's your,
I guess, are they wrong in saying that? Can those two go together?
Yeah. Here's what's going to happen to you and or for you. Whatever it is that you can convince your subconscious mind is normal for you, that's what's going to happen to you or for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter what it is. Subconscious mind doesn't decide good, bad, right, or wrong. Okay. It doesn't know the difference between the past, present, and future. at a subconscious level, everything is in the present. So what we want to do then, in order to impress the subconscious mind with what we want, is we want to live in our mind. In our conscious mind, we are going to start using our imagination. We are going to imagine ourselves exactly as we want things to be, the things we want to be, do, or have. And we're going to ignore our five senses, because our five senses are in opposition to what we want to be, do, or have, or else we'd already be, do, or have those things. So we don't want feedback that says, we don't want to look at our bank account. And if our bank account isn't what we like, we don't want to look at that as our reality. So we either accept our five senses as reality, or we accept our imagination as reality. Subconscious mind does not know the difference between your imagination and what your five senses are giving you. It doesn't go, oh, this came from the five senses, this must be real. Oh, this came from Jeray's imagination, this must be just fantasy. It doesn't know the difference. So if you imprint into your subconscious mind through your imagination, through your visualization, through enjoying the end result right now as if it's already happened, and you impress that, and you do what's called spaced repetition, which is what we were reading in the book. You know, what was it saying? Hey, we do this 2 or 3 or 4 times. They would do things throughout the day, and they would visualize and feel and say different things to themselves, and the subconscious mind picked it up. When the subconscious mind picks it up, if you have an opposing idea in there, you're going to feel uncomfortable for a while. Actually take that uncomfortable feeling and look at it and go, hey, I am successful. I have successfully implanted my new idea into my subconscious mind. And that's why I feel a little bit, you know, I'm not feeling quite as at ease as I was before. That's because you got both sides, your angel and your devil, so to speak. That's not what it is, okay? But you have two opposing ideas now trying to get your attention, and your subconscious mind is like, okay, until one of them takes over here, I'm not going to help you have either.
Okay.
So if you back off, then your old program stays the dominant. And then your old program, your subconscious goes, okay, well, I already know that that's what life's been like for you. So you're just telling me that this was all kind of a mistake. I don't really want it. Okay, we'll stick with what's been normal for you. But what happens is if you go to the point where they're both in there and you feel the discomfort, you step through that discomfort, because it's only emotional discomfort, by the way. Okay, you step through that, and then the subconscious goes, hey, she was not hurt. You know, and things are better. Now the subconscious mind goes to the old program and goes, you know what, we're going to close your window for now, and we're going to keep this window open. Now you're going to have both programs still in your subconscious mind, but if one window is closed and one's open, that means that you've only got the one program actually running right now. That doesn't mean you couldn't wake the other one up by clicking on it again. So don't go click on the old program. Don't keep tapping it. That's what happens when people want to repeat their past. Life has gotten better, but they still go back and repeat their past. You're opening that window when you do that. You may keep opening, shutting it, but don't waste your time doing that, and don't take that chance of opening it and then getting additional input that supports that so that it dominates, and now you close the good window.
Would that be like when someone kind of questions, like, is this really my life type of thing? And then stuff can go backwards because they question whether they deserve it or whether they like that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, first of all, in your here's another thing, this is all programming. These are all stories. You don't deserve or not deserve any particular kind of life. You can manifest any kind of life you want. It's only if you think you have to deserve something that you'll have to deserve it. Because are there people that receive things in their life that, at least in your mind, they totally don't deserve it? Okay. Okay. Their programming is not in opposition to what it is that they want. That's why they're currently receiving what they want. If you put all these stipulations on yourself I have to be worthy. I have to deserve it. I have to perform certain things. I have to be accepted by blah, 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 before I can have what I want. Now you've got 5 or 6 different programs you're trying to shut down in order to receive what you want. Just stay focused on what you want. And when these come up, say, really, is there anybody on planet Earth that has a lot of money that I think doesn't deserve it yet? Okay, so you deserving it's a lie. Is there anybody out there, there's always going to be proof, but you got to look for the right proof. There's always going to be proof that what it is that you want, somebody else has done it and has it, and they're happy and prosperous and everything else. And they didn't have to go, they're not the same religion you are. They don't pray 5 times a day. But just all this stuff that we've been told as we're growing up that we have to do to deserve something. And that's basically the challenge that we have, is we will never out manifest our self-image. Whatever our self-image, now the good thing is we can change our self-image anytime we like. We just can't out manifest whatever that self-image is. So if you don't like where you're at in a particular part of your life, then go create it the way you want it to be. And all the other stuff from the past, that's just BS story. It's a story you've been telling yourself or others have been telling you all these years. It's not true.
Okay. And then once we convince our subconscious of what we want, then the universe works to make it happen.
The universe is always trying to work to make it happen. It's the subconscious mind that gets in the way. The subconscious mind is your connection to God and the universe to be inspired, to get personal inspiration, revelation, and intuition. And it is also the mechanism through which you vibrate, and that vibration goes out into the energy of the universe and brings you, it reflects back to you essentially the essence of your vibration.
Okay.
Any more you want to ask about that, or?
No, I wrote down a bunch of what you said. I think I just really need to go back and use my visualization and use my, convince my mind. It's just, I'm just kind of in a stuck place right now. So,
Yeah.
and it's frustrating. And I think my frustration feeds the negative side of what's going on. And so then it's even like another blocker for me, I guess.
Yeah. But the place to start for this goes for everybody. Okay. The place to start in the change that we have to do that most people won't take the time to do is we have to decide what we want our life to be like. We have to recreate an image of ourselves as we want it to be. Not as what our results currently are, but what is it that I really do want? Not just the amount of money I want to make and where I live and what I drive and but like, what is it about me that I want to believe about me? What do I want to believe about and I keep saying want, I didn't say what do you believe about yourself? Because you already believe whatever you believe about yourself. And if it's returning back to you what you want in your life, then those are beliefs that serve you. If it's returning back to you things that you don't want in your life, then there's a belief about yourself that's been implanted subconsciously that's in opposition to what it is that you want. So instead of trying to do that, I would go into taking some time and go, okay, what would I really want my life to be like if everything lined up? Everything lined up. Not that you need everything to line up, okay? But like, if I knew that no matter what, I would succeed at what I'm asking, I would actually manifest whatever it is I'm asking for. If all of it showed up, what would I want it to be? What is it that I really want to be? What is it that I really want to do? What is it that I really want to have? And why? Because some of the things we want to be, do, or have come to us from outside, saying that, well, if you are such and such, then you should have this, right? If you're a rock star, you should drive a fancy car. If you're this, you should do that. those are, again, stories that we tell ourselves. That doesn't mean there's anything against nice homes or cars. All those things are cool to have. Just make sure it's what you want. And how do you want it? You have the desire for it. And don't let other people judge that. I like Ferraris, Porsches, Lamborghinis, and stuff like that. Okay. I haven't owned all those, okay, but I've owned some very nice things. But some people would say, oh, I would never spend that much on this. And then other people would say, you know what? You could feed X number of people if you buy this nice thing. So you start judging and questioning if you should even want something. Hey, when it comes time to buy something that you want, there's a process out there of the flow of money and God in the universe that are actually to your benefit. I like to kid around a little bit. This isn't to knock anybody that's worked there. I did, so I can say it because I worked there for a long time. I was an assistant manager at a Walmart. I call it the Walmart principle. All the money eventually trickles down to Walmart anyway. Okay, what do I mean by that? If you want a nice car, a Mercedes or something, versus a Toyota, and I say you want it, okay? I'm not trying to say which car's better or whatever, but you want a $100,000 car instead of a $30,000 car. When you pay for that $100,000 car, you are actually helping more people than when you buy a $30,000 car. Okay, because of the amount of money you spent on it, because it all trickles back down to Walmart. Okay, meaning the cost is more for the $100,000 car. The designing and engineering and everything, they had people, probably the people that worked on building the Mercedes versus building the Toyota, got paid more. But the people then go spend their money, and eventually, as it comes on down to the next person that gets paid, the next person that gets paid and gets paid, I kid around by saying it all ends up at Walmart, or you could say the dollar store, but I don't want to go there. Okay. If you buy $1 million home versus a $300,000 home, that $1 million actually goes through more hands. It actually helps more people and feeds more families. So you don't actually have to feel bad about wanting nice things and buying things that are more expensive, because you could have fed more people. You could have taken that money and put it on the street and just fed a bunch of people. Okay. Well, what about all those people, those jobs? If you don't spend the money or create more wealth, you have less to go out and share. Now, that doesn't mean you don't just take some money and go take it to a charity and possibly donate it. If you believe in the cause and you feel led and guided and you have the desire we talked about earlier, then go do that. But what I'm getting at is you can't feel bad about having what you want to be, do, or have, because if you feel bad about it, that's your self-image. If you want to be, do, or have those things, you got to get to a point where your self-image accepts that as normal. Your subconscious then will accept it as normal, and your subconscious will go out and make sure you get it. Does any of that help anybody here?
Yeah, it helps a lot with me. I think it all starts, like you said, with my self-image. I just have to get back to that.
Cool. Any additional questions or comments for today? Okie dokie then. Well, I'm grateful you spent the time with us today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.